Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ryan Rosenzweig. Um, so I got pain in my left side. I'm gonna call this pain in my left side. I got a sharp, pain in my left side, which I've had for the past, 4 days. I have sores on my legs. And I'm gonna call this stomach problems vlog. Um, when I turned 18, or 19 is when I started smoking cigarettes. And me and my friend, James, um, would smoke, marijuana. And drink. And when James would come over, see, I have pain, sharp pain in my left side right now. And I want to say I'm 30 because my birthday was May 24th. So my birthday recently passed. For my birthday, my dad said that he was going to get me frogs, but he never did. But I used to have frogs for my last birthday. Um, and like I said, I don't talk to my first girlfriend Alicia anymore. But I get notifications from her. Um, and then I went to the Twitter account of my first date named Shelby that I don't like because Shelby screwed me over. And I unfriended my friend Mariah, and Kelly, the mixed girl that played the violin late last week. And Kelly's name was Kelly Jeffries. But she goes by Kelly Roberts now because she's married to her husband Brady. Um, and I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, I had a job working at ShopRite in Main Street, Bel Air. And there was a boy named Sean Ryan that worked there who would hang out with a boy named Brandon. And then my best friend at my alternative school, the Furbish School at Glendon, my friend's name was Brandon Drexler, who hung out with a boy named Sean Sheldon. So I thought that was like an interesting thing. See, when I see things like this, I see it as Hecate and Zeus. I don't see it as Jesus. And I'm not Muslim or Islamic. I'm Wiccan. Because with witchcraft, the laws are to know, to will, to dare, and to keep silent. Um, be careful what you do. Be careful who you trust. There are green but dark crafts. And I have a Wiccan book in my room that I read sometimes. I experience tactile hallucinations. I'm having some in my feet right now. As a paranoid schizophrenic. I'm 30 and I've been hearing voices in my head ever since I was like 22. The very first people coincidence person that I think I came across was my friend Dan Reichley at my alternative school. And then this artist called Damon Winning. It looks just like him, but they aren't related in any way. Because Dan Reichley lives in Maryland, and on Maryland Judiciary Case Search, he has theft charges for stealing things. And then Damon Winning is a musical artist that is in jail for gun charges that is famous. See, my second threesome named Alex Griffith would always make threats to put pictures or revenge porn or movies or things like that or videotapes of me on Ryan George Fair Revolver Report. And some days I felt like I had more enemies than friends. But because I really got nothing out of being Ryan George Fair, except for being stepped on by a ripoff report, dealing with a dad that would play with my schizophrenia money and punch me in the face, and things like that. Having my cat get out, going without sex, for about 3 years, being cheated on by my first girlfriend, Alicia. Being stolen from by Alex and Courtney. Being taken advantage of the Levi Carter guy that was obsessed with Sherolade and Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson that was rude to me towards the end. When really once a week on Twitter, there's a new tweet where people want to know what happened to Billy Wesley Fouts or Sherolade. And I have all those precious answers, and I'm never going to answer a question about him because he was my friend. And when he would hang out with me, and I don't talk to him anymore, and I've come to realize that I'm never going to hear from him again because it's been 2 years. But I used to have conversations with them in a group called the Mercury Zone on AIM and things like that. AOL Instant Messenger. And I talked to a girl named Morgan, a boy named Michael, and another boy named Christophian before I finally hung out with my friend James Colvin that lived here with me about 3 years ago. And I used to talk to Alan and things like that, or Carnisha. And I have conversations with Michael Stather or Skankisha even today. And he thinks that I'm funny and I joke. And I have voice humor. Oh my god, look at me, I'm a white bitch. My name is Keisha. Shut your ass up. My name is Yolanda. I'm an old fat black woman. Things like that, so I have voice humor. My name is Tyrone or Jamal. I'm a black man. So I can do my own voices because I practice them. And really, when I was 17 or 18, my buddy Love Dad George did not buy me a car. And I sat in this house for like 5 years, unable to see my alternative school friends. So a lot of them unfriended me. And I had my first kiss with a girl named Emma when I was 8 or 9. I've never done anything with boys before, and people can think whatever they want about that. I know that I'm not gay or bisexual. I know that I'm straight because I had 5 girlfriends in my alternative school. And really, the only thing I wanted to do was have sex with Alicia. But I only figured her And then Brooke gave me a blowjob. And then Nadia was Christian, so we didn't have sex. And then I fingered Sabrina La Rochelle, my fifth girlfriend. And then after that, I went years without sex. And then 9 months ago, I had a girlfriend with black hair named Berta. And me and my friend Austin Mulqueen did like 5 or 6 threesomes on her. And then this boy named Noah had sex with my girlfriend. And I watched. And I'm 30, and when I was 6 or 27, I was on a witchcraft coven called Bloodstar Coven. And see, when I worked at ShopRite, everybody was Christian or Catholic that worked there, except for this man named Tony that's Amish, that looks like my stepdad, Tony Mitchell Willie. And anybody can look on Maryland Judiciary Case Search and look up Tony Mitchell Willie. Or Pamela K. Willie. And with Tony Mitchell Willie, if you look that up, it's about 6 or 5 pages long between my stepbrother and my stepdad because they're both named Tony Mitchell Willie. And then my mom's name is Pam. And I call my mom's house the 1700 Dungarvan Courthouse of Horrors because I was locked in closets by my stepdad. My black my stepsister's black daughter named Kaja bit me on my back and they punished me for it. And my dad would lay his hands on me, and I told him that if he lays his hands on me, I'm calling the police on him. But really, I encounter physical violence by my dad, and he verbally and emotionally abuses me even today. And really, gang members or friends at my alternative school wanted to kill people in my family because they're evil. Like my stepdad, who would abuse me physically and emotionally. And I used to get in fights with neighborhood kids when I was young. The Rob Meyer boy that lives up the street wanted me to fight a boy named Sean. And then about 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, I fought a boy named Caleb, who is Indian or Hispanic. And he's in martial arts. And see, I was only almost a yellow belt. But I had conversations with a diabetic on Facebook that is a red belt that I wish I could go hang out with and see. And my friend Jeff that I did witchcraft with said that his grandfather was in a rare martial arts thing. And I used to do witchcraft with Jeff. Um, it's not like I feel like I'm psychic or I can read minds. Um, but one power that I know that I have is clairvoyance. I know when people will laugh before they laugh sometimes. And there are times when I know when the air conditioner in the house will come on before it comes on. And I have this crystal ball in my room. And really, I watched a movie when I was like 18. It was a porno movie where the names Gigi and Jeanette were set in it. And my dad's girlfriend is named Margie Robichaux and her sister is named Jeanette Edwards. And Great Granny Gigi and Jeanette are real. Um, they're adult porn stars, but Frances Millard is dead. And Jeanette Spangler, I think, is still alive. But my dad's girlfriend is named Margie Rubishow, and her sister is named Jeanette. And then there's Billy Wesley Fouts. And then the Jared Green boy that went to my alternative school. Who was a boy with black hair and green eyes that looks like Billy Wesley Fouts. The Chevrolet guy. And really, he was just my friend that would come over and visit for 4 years because my buddy loved Dad George Fair. Didn't let anybody else come over but him for 4 years. And then I would tell people like Alex about Ripoff Report. And then after that, he would always make threads to put things about me on Ryan George Fair Ripoff Report. And really, I sat in his house, and all my alternative school friends unfriended me. And I had anxiety attacks at my old school because one of the only people that I talked to from my alternative school was Carl or James Corona. And then James Colvin lived here with me for a while, but he doesn't talk to me. He moved in, and he's in the other room. But James Colvin moved out, and he's married to his wife Kelly now. And see, I plan never to get married because for 4 or 5 years I sat in this house on Jessica's Lane and didn't have sex. So honestly, I plan never to get married, and that's my choice because I'm 30 years old. And so far, I've only had one first kiss, 5 girlfriends. I fingered Alicia, Brooke gave me a blowjob, and then I fingered Sabrina. I had a girlfriend named Alexis and a girlfriend named Berta. And I've done threesomes with 1, 2, 3, 4 boys in my life. And I try to talk to girls at bars, but they're not interested in me. I've tried Meet Me, I've tried Plenty of Fish for years, for 3 years, and girls don't talk to me on Plenty of Fish or Meet Me. So really, I felt like the best thing to do was to go out and buy a camera and taunt people with all the answers as to what happened to Chevrolet. Because really, people are obsessed with Chevrolet. And some days people think that Ryan George Fair isn't real. And I have all those precious answers. And really, I don't have to answer a question because Ryan Rosenzweig made fun of me. And Billy Wesley Fouts laughed when his mom got cancer. And I can probably go through my inbox and find messages about that. But it doesn't matter because he wants to sit there and act like he knows him when really he doesn't. His Chevrolet Where Are You video, Billy used to talk to him, but then they stopped talking. And I know this because I'm Ryan George Fair, and Billy Wesley Fouts was my best friend for 4 years. And Ryan Rosenzweig came in, and he got Jeffree Star videos out of Billy Wesley Fouts because that's all he cared about, and then he unfriended him and stopped talking to him, and he doesn't care about him. He was just using Billy Wesley Fouts for Jeffree Star material. So really, if you guys want to sit there and think that Ryan Rosenzweig is some kind of cool Chevrolet person, he's not. he was just using Billy Wesley Fouts to get Jeffree Star material out of him, when really I was Billy Wesley Fouts' true friend. And in 2020, it's offensive that I try to give people information about Sherolade, and people just dislike my videos and left me "fuck you, I hope you die" comments. Billy Wesley Fouts liked Ryan Rosenzweig for a while. But once he came in, got Jeffree Star stuff, and then unfriended him, he didn't like Ryan Rosenzweig anymore. And Billy Wesley Fouts and Ryan Rosenzweig don't talk. So really, his video making fun of me, he's making fun of a disabled person. And all he cares about is Jeffree Star and the Millionaires and shit like that. And he thinks that Charlotte is funny. But really, Billy Wesley Fouts doesn't like him and thought it was funny when his mom got cancer. And I have Tourette syndrome with epilepsy. I have paranoid schizophrenia, which I got diagnosed with when I was 20 or 21. And when I would tell my dad, George, that I would hear voices, he would make fun of my voices. And we get in arguments all the time. And if my dad were to drop dead tomorrow and they would bury him, I wouldn't visit his funeral. And really, my dad, George, was mean to his father his whole life. And slammed his foot down at his father's funeral when he died because he was mean to him his whole life. And really, I tried to watch Harry Potter with my dad, George, and things like that. And really, my dad did not buy me a car, did not let me have my friends over, would always stay here when I had girlfriends over, and things like that. So I don't like my dad, George, and I don't like my Aunt Debbie or my Uncle Dave. And they think that Stacy and Amy, my cousins, are so good and they could drive in their cars when they were 18 or 19, and my dad did not buy me a car. And some days I didn't care if I went to jail for 4 or 5 years for posting slander pages of that woman that has leukemia or whatever that made Ryan George for a ripoff report that is a huge fat dyke that got beaten up and claimed that she had a boyfriend named Jeff that would come home and beat her, and really she's just a ridiculous drunkard that thinks that she is a friendly psychic person, and she calls everybody that doesn't agree with her demons. And I wish I could sue her for Ryan George for a ripoff report. I was just going on 24 minutes. It is 1:29 a.m. in the morning, and it is June 10th, 2022. So I'm going to call this Ryan Rosenzweig vlog. I'm going to call this Pain in My Left Side vlog. Let me show off my rabbit. This is my rabbit, Midnight. And see, my dad won't let me have a cat but he got me this black rabbit. So I'm going to call this Ryan Rosenzweig vlog, stomach problems vlog, and pain in my left side for the past 4 days vlog. Which I've had for the past 4 days. I don't know why. And it is 1:30 a.m. in the morning. And it is June 10th, 2022. And it is 1:30 a.m. in the morning. So I hope everybody's good out there in the YouTube world. Much love and peace from Ryan George Fair.